Update for yesterday, February the 18th. So, first, the ghastly backlighting of this video is done for a very specific reason, and that is because I would like to start with a mea culpa. So, the last couple of days, I have been sitting around and spending a considerable amount of time on these videos talking about it's not going to snow. All right. All right. Psych. So, yesterday I had the day off from work and I drove down to Central Oregon to see Dad. And for reasons that, simply because of a number of bedroom issues, I happened to be staying at a hotel. And spent the night at a hotel last night. I did not film yesterday's video 15 hours after the previous one, just like I promised, which would have been around 9 or 10 o'clock last night. I fell asleep, and I'm kind of glad I did, because, yeah, woke up to actually pretty neat little scene here in Central Oregon. There's some snow. Now, another kind of cool thing, cool in a nerdy kind of way, is this is one of those hotels, this is a Comfort Suites, that has, the little covered area by the check-in, where you kind of drive under part of the building and anyway, long story short, I have one of the rooms that's right above the driveway. So when I worked for the cruise line, we would occasionally go to Nassau. And in Nassau, and for that matter, when I've been on cruises as a guest too, we've also done Nassau. And there's a famous resort, and in the Atlantis Resort in Nassau is super famous, and it has what they refer to as the Michael Jackson Suite, which is between two of the huge spires of this hotel. There is like a little bridge, and it's like a penthouse. And supposedly Michael Jackson stayed there a ridiculous number of times, and anyway, so this is my moment of having the bridge suite. My life. Anyway, so came down to Central Oregon, and of course the main reason to come down and check out Central Oregon this time is, of course, to hang out with Dad. And so this yesterday morning, shortly after I posted that other video, I had all sorts of plans, like go to the gym and continue cleaning the clutter and all this. There again, did it again, pulled out my phone and started just randomly scrolling through stuff and then kind of bouncing back and forth between my little side projects that I've been telling you about, my possible AI-assisted fictionalized story of my life, little stories, and the looking into possibly clipping videos, that type of stuff. And of course, just randomly scrolling and just brain rot stuff. No, not pornography. No, don't think that. Sounds suspicious. But anyway, no. But long story short, ended up just wasting like 4 hours of just scrolling and, piddling around those stupid little projects. And perfect example, absolutely perfect example of what I'm talking about. Again, that is a violation of the New Year's resolution that I made. And, yeah, it's mid-February. I've honestly been doing really well. But, yeah. And guess what? Wasted 4 hours that I could have been catching up on other stuff. As much as I sit here and complain about not having any time, that's the problem. And the reason I keep going off about it is because I'm recognizing it is a problem. And if I keep publicly telling myself about that, I will hopefully actually follow through on my commitments. Honestly, I've been doing a really good job, but so that I don't have wasted time, at least right now, where I'm in a spot in life where I cannot afford to waste time. So, there we go. All right, so the main reason I drove down to Dad is, long story short, I have these couple of days off. Typically, on a week where I have 2 days off from the store, I will essentially, these are the type of weeks where I will go into the substitute teaching system and find a teaching day to get that 6th day of income on there, and to keep things going. And so, but this time, since I had the 2 days off in a row, drove down here, and again, this is for morale boosting. Basically, Mom's now had her operation, and and I did actually get a text from her at about midnight. And it was kind of a long one. And long story short, she is now feeling a lot more confident that this is going well, that this surgery is taking and it is a positive result. And so, yeah, excellent. So we should be, maybe a few weeks to a month before, until we're back to at least our family's state of normal. For a situation that started on the 23rd of September, that's great to hear. It really is. So, and so kind of what I'm thinking is my next few weeks on, if I have days off together, I will do these kind of trips. And basically, the gist of it now is hanging out with Dad. It's less of the, just the operational type of things, because again, another family member, great guy, retired guy from Alaska, is now down with using the bedroom in Mom and Dad's place, helping Mom through her rehabilitation and doing all the little day-to-day type of things that I was helping with. So this is now more just hang out with Dad and improve his morale. Because of the other wrinkle. So this week's wrinkle, and it seems like there's always a wrinkle when you have somebody involved with an assisted living place. Seems like there's always a wrinkle. And this week's wrinkle is that 3 or 4 days ago, I guess, Dad got diagnosed with the flu. Seasonal thing, and I've had the flu 3 times in my life that I'm aware of. And then just random achiness a couple other times. That was probably the flu, but I didn't know. I get flu shots, supposedly according to the nurse down there, or one of the nurses at this assisted living place. Apparently, the super smart people who guess what varieties of flu to put in the vaccines didn't guess exactly right, so there's more flu activity for that. I don't know about any of that. But that being said, the gist of it was that Dad currently can't leave his room. He doesn't have a roommate right now, which is honestly good for this type of situation. And so when I go to hang out with him, I just have to hang out in the room. Now, Dad's case doesn't seem too severe. And having had the flu 3 times myself, it's, it's right in line what he's experiencing with what I've experienced when I've had the flu. So it's like, it's not alarming. It just kind of sucks. And it sucks for a couple of other reasons as well. One being that, of course, that means that Mom can't go to where he is because she's 86 and recuperating. He just turned 88. And so putting 86, turning 87 in a month in the same room as 88 with the flu, probably not an advantageous situation. Also, out of an abundance of caution, I am not going and visiting Mom this time after going and visiting Dad because of, for understandable reasons. Anyway, and there's also the notion of I'm being careful wearing those, whatever that 95, that big deal about the paper mask, like M95, and then it was a thing, those like elaborate paper clothy mask things. Anyway, been wearing those for the first time in a few years, and those aren't comfy, are they? All right, but anyway, I'm going to be, after posting this video, going to be going and hanging out with Dad for about 5 hours today, before about 4 o'clock, hitting the road and heading back to Vancouver. Oh, by the way, in case anybody tells me, oh, it's still in Vancouver today too, take a look at this webcam. No, it didn't. So I'm right now 98.9% of the time. All right, ciao for now, everyone. I'm out of time, and I'll talk to you from Vancouver tonight.